What's up, everybody? Today's video, oh my gosh, ow. Today's video is a little bit different than normal. This is a video that I probably should have made a long time ago. Maybe like at the beginning of the racing season rather than at the end. But better late than never, right? So I've been getting a lot of comments about, I don't know what you guys are talking about, and I don't understand the terminology in your racing videos. So this video is basically gonna be bracket racing for non-drag racers. So if you're a drag racer or if you're down at Thunder Valley a lot and you understand what we're doing down there, bracket racing, this video is probably not for you. But if you're curious of what the heck we're talking about half the time with the numbers and the terminology and all the weird stuff that we're doing down at the racetrack, this video is for you. So again, I know I probably should have made this video like way earlier in the season, but here we go. Just to get started, basic anatomy of a drag race or a bracket race. Now what we're talking about is bracket racing. If you're watching like the pros on TV or something like that, that's what's called like heads up racing. So that's when both cars leave at the exact same time, no matter what, and the first one to the finish line wins. Granted that none of them red lit or anything like that. What we do is bracket racing, so it's a little bit different. Heads up racing is a little bit more like whoever has the most money in their pocket wins kind of situation. But bracket racing is a little bit different. It's it's intended to kind of level the playing field, right? So a bracket race is a handicap start race. So say that you have somebody that has a car set up to run 8 seconds, and you have another guy that has a car set up to run 10 seconds. 10-second car is 2 seconds slower than the 8-second car. They're gonna get a 2-second head start. So I think we need a visual for this. Hold on. There, I made a drag strip. We need some cars. Vera! Can Daddy borrow a couple Go-Go's? Can Daddy have 2 Go-Go's? Can you help Daddy pick them out? Can Daddy use that one?
They're Papa's.
That's Papa's? Can Daddy borrow it? Please? Okay, it wasn't easy, but I got 2 hot rods from Vera. So, all right, back to business here. Now, drag race in its simplest form is a race to the finish line. You have to get there first to win, right? But you have to get there first to win, but you can't disqualify yourself trying. So there's 2 ways that you can disqualify yourself. The tree is gonna come down, and if you leave too soon, you're gonna red light and you're gonna disqualify yourself. So that's one way. The other way, you can go too fast. Each car has a dial in on the side of their car. So that's that little flip board that I have on the side of my race car that you always see in my videos that I'm changing it to like a, like an 808 or something like that. So that's the dial in on the car. So each of these cars is gonna have a dial in. And as we were starting to talk before, let's just pretend that this blue car is an 8-second car. This car believes that he's gonna run an 8.00 second pass. That's how he has his car set up. This guy doesn't quite have as much horsepower, and he believes his car is going to run a 10.00 second pass. So this is a 10-second car. So this guy's going to put an 8.00 dial in on the side of his car. This guy's going to put a 10.00 dial in on the side of his car. All right, what's that mean? Since we are bracket racing and we are not heads-up racing, what that means is this 10-second car is 2 seconds slower. So they're gonna end up getting a 2-second head start. What that means is, I need to make a deal here. So his lights, yellow, 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 green, are gonna come down in a sequence that is 2 seconds ahead of this 8-second car. Theoretically, if both drivers have the exact same reaction time, let's just pretend that they're both perfect and they both leave exactly on the green. This guy's gonna leave the starting line exactly 2 seconds ahead of this guy. Now, what happens is they're gonna leave, he's gonna leave, 2 seconds is gonna go by, he's gonna leave, but his car's faster, so he's catching him. He's catching him. He's catching him all the way down the track. Now, when they get to the finish line, if this guy runs exactly that 10.00 second pass that he predicted and put on his dial-in, and this guy runs exactly an 8.00 second pass that he put on his dial-in, and they had the exact same reaction time, theoretically, they're going to get to the finish line at exactly the same time. Now, that never happens, but that's just a theoretical situation. The timing equipment typically goes down to like the 10,000th of a second. So the chances of somebody getting an actual tie, I don't even know if that could happen. I'm sure it could happen, and I don't know what would happen if it did, but I have never experienced that situation. So that's a theoretical situation. They would get there at the exact same time. Now, how do you win the race? You win the race because you pretend the yellow car got there just a hair before the blue car. He would win the race, granted that he did not disqualify himself. Remember, there's two ways to disqualify yourself. One, maybe he left too early. So if they're back here at the starting line, he leaves 2 seconds first, right? But if his yellow, green comes down, maybe he takes off too early and he took off on this yellow, he jumped the gun. That's a false start. Then this bulb, which is the red one, I should have colored these. This is yellow, 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 green, red. And if he leaves too early, he's going to trip this red bulb on. That's a disqualification. You take yourself out of the race automatically. If he red lights, it doesn't matter. He's already done. He can get to the finish line by that much first. Doesn't matter. This guy already won. Blue car already won if he went red. Granted that the blue car did not go red. And that's another good point. Say both cars were going to go red. So that's a little bit of a tricky situation. At Thunder Valley is a little bit old school on some of this stuff, but at Thunder Valley, first is worst. So when it comes to two red lights, if you're the slower car, you have that disadvantage. If you're a faster car, you have the advantage that if you're both going to go red, it's the first person that went red that actually gets knocked out of the race. If he already went red, if the yellow car already went red and the blue car goes red, it doesn't matter. Race is already over when the first person goes red. So with the handicap start system, you want to be the faster car to gain that advantage. Now, that's at Thunder Valley. If you go to like any other track in the world, they've switched over to how bad your red light is. So it doesn't matter if you're first or second. If he goes red by a higher amount of time than the blue car, that's the person that's disqualified. So, for example, say he goes red by 0.005 seconds. And later on, 2 seconds later, this guy goes red by 0.001 seconds. So 0.005, 0.001 seconds red. This guy's going to lose because he was red by more time. He took off even earlier. So that's kind of how the red light, that's one way you can take yourself out of the race, and there's millions. The other way that you can get to the finish line first and still not win is by going too fast, and that's what we call a breakout. So remember I talked about the dial-ins. This guy had a 10.00 second dial-in. He can get to the finish line first, and he could get to the finish line second, and this blue car could still win. That's a breakout situation. So for example, he gets down here, and instead of running 10.00 seconds or slower, maybe he actually runs a 9.99. 9999. It doesn't matter. If it's under 10, that's considered a breakout. You went faster than your dial-in, you're disqualified out of the race. Now, as long as this guy did not break out as bad as this guy, he's going to get the win. So that's kind of an explanation on the two ways that you can take yourself out of the race. By red lighting and leaving too soon, or by going faster than your dial-in. So that brings me kind of to the next thing. How do you win a race without screwing up these two potential ways to take yourself out of the race? You want to get as much of a reaction time advantage as you possibly can on the starting line. Let's erase these two dial-ins. Let's ignore that these are here. Now let's say that they're both exactly the same dial-in. So they're both run exactly an 8.00 second pass. Okay? Now, the lights are going to come down at the exact same time. Yellow, 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 green. Because they both have the exact same dial-in. So, theoretically, they both leave at the exact same time. and they both get to the finish line at the exact same time. However, you have the opportunity to give yourself a head start, to give yourself an advantage by having a better reaction time off the line. Let's pretend that the yellow car, he's really on his game today. He has a perfect reaction time, 0.000 second reaction time. When that light turns green, his car has exited the staging beams and he's on his way down the track. Exactly perfect light. This guy, let's pretend that he was out drinking too late the night before or something like that, and he's just dead late on his light. Let's say he has 100 light. Now 100 light, that's, okay, let's write this down. This guy had a perfect light, 0.000 second reaction time. This guy had 100 light, 0.100 second reaction time. It's a 1/10 of a second reaction time. So boom, boom. He's a 1/10 of a second behind the other guy going down the track already, right off the starting line. So this guy is gonna have a huge advantage because he had a better reaction time. So yeah, you don't wanna go red, but you wanna push it as far as you possibly can to going red, basically. You wanna go, this is the reaction time we're all shooting for, but this is also the riskiest reaction time that you could possibly shoot for. All right, so that's kind of the reaction time advantage. This guy had the perfect light. This guy had 100 light. Going down the track, this guy's gonna be like way ahead of this guy at the finish line. And then this brings you to the second big point of a drag race, and that is running the finish line, or running the stripe, or running a wheel on somebody. There's a lot of terminology for this. I'll try to catch up on all the terminology after we're done with this little example here, but this guy, remember the dial-ins. The other way that you can lose is by breaking out and going faster than your dial-in. Remember in this example, we're both at 8.00 seconds. If he runs a 7.99999 or faster, he's gonna lose. So he gained a 1/10 of a second advantage off of the starting line. He's gonna be coming down the finish line. He's gonna be turning his head towards this blue car, and he's gonna be looking, he's not there, he's not there. And if he's smart, when he gets to the finish line, he's gonna get on the brakes. So it's gonna look something like this. Coming to the finish line, he's gonna get on the brakes and he's gonna try and tighten that up as much as he can right at the end, just enough so that he barely gets there first. So that's where the other key factor of a drag race comes in, is you wanna be able to hit the tree and get an advantage on the starting line, and then you wanna be able to beat the other guy by this much, because you want to scrub off as much time as you can. You want to go as slow as you possibly can and still get there first, because you're getting rid of that risk of breaking out. So again, let's just really exaggerate this. Say he had like a 9-mile advantage, right? So he's coming down and he's got such an advantage. If he just leaves this thing pegged, he leaves it pinned all the way through the finish line with this huge amount of advantage, he could beat the guy by like freaking a quarter of a track here. But he's probably going to end up breaking out. He might go 7.99999, or maybe, you know, even faster than that. Who knows? And this guy is going to be like, ah, you're stupid. Boom. He's just going to coast through. He's going to run like an 8:05, and he's going to get the win. And he was dead late on the tree. So this guy who has the advantage needs to be looking back and forth down on the track, and he needs to tighten up this race as close as he can. So that's kind of the name of the game on this drag racing situation. Two things: hit the light and then run a wheel on him on the big end. Make sense? So there you have it. That's pretty much my rundown on bracket racing for non-drag racer people. I hope that makes a little bit more sense. Hopefully you can go back and watch some of those Gall Stars now and you know, be able to make heads or tails out of it at least. I'm sure I missed something. I'm sure that there's still some stuff that's not very clear. So make sure you leave it down in the comments if I missed something. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Hopefully you enjoy the videos, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.